Hi everyone, this is Chelsea with Tidewater and Tool, and today we are with our friend Isha Foss of Isha Foss Design, and we are going all fiesta and hola and all that good stuff with bridal showers. So Isha, as you can see, has already kind of put together, she's an amazing floral designer, stylist, and all of that good stuff when it comes to making a wedding day personal and pretty. So tell us about what kind of, before we get into our DIY and we start sharing a little bit about what we want to teach people, what inspired you with this arrangement right here?
So I always go with my first thought. When you told me that it was going to be kind of fiesta, first thing came to mind was fun, bright colors, and then, you know, cactus. And then from there, the colors of the blooms on the cactus and then the spiky shapes. Even though this isn't a cactus, I felt like this texture and color speaks.
And that's a king protea, right?
It is a king protea.
So this is the big daddy of all the proteas. So.
Or protea, depending.
Oh, protea.
Yes.
This is why we have floral friends around. Wonderful. And I'm obsessed with these little cactus guys because they've got little knobs and different ones. You had a yellow one back there too, but I mean, do they have to grow them a certain way like that, or they just bloom like that?
They do.
Or?
Most cactuses do bloom under the right circumstance. This one is not my friend. He's super prickly.
His name is Pete.
Yeah, prickly Pete. So you have to, you know, obviously if you have small children around or things like that, you might want to choose some that are less threatening.
Like the fluffy, hairy one.
Yes, and this kind of reminds me of the typical shape that you would think of when you think of a cactus. Yeah. So I liked that little guy.
Awesome. Well, I'm just, Isha's known for using a lot of textures, using a lot of I feel like exotic or unique blooms that you don't really see a lot. So that's what I personally love about, because when I asked Isha to be a part of this, I was like, literally, I just love terracotta. So
yes,
whatever.
Yes. And these are available right at Home Depot.
Oh, love it. So perfect for a bridal shower, and they might not have, they could literally go to your local hardware store or home improvement store.
Exactly, yeah. And so they're readily available, they're inexpensive. A lot of times they come in these cute pots. You could also decorate these pots.
Love it. Possibilities are endless. Just like the napkins that we are going to teach you how to make today. So we are doing DIY fiesta napkins made with pom-poms, napkins, and some fabric adhesive. That is really great for quick DIY. Literally, you can even dress up, we just have plain white napkins, but you can dress up any kind of napkin out there using to the color palette of your bridal shower or wedding shower, and just have fun with it. So we are using pom-pom strings from papermart.com, and they came in a bunch of different colors. So, and they're really high quality, and literally I just want to trim all of my dresses with it. So, it's just wonderful. So we are making these beautiful tasseled beauties, and so mix and match colors. You can add two rows, 3 rows. You can keep going up the napkin if you want. For this project, we're only doing 2, and then these tassels are also from Papermart, so it kind of adds like a nice fiesta feel to it. So why don't we go ahead and get started?
I'm ready.
So we have our plain white napkins. Sometimes when you have a napkin that is with a little tag, you could just, that is not the edge that you want to do it on. So that is going to be on the top for us. And then after you've gotten your edge figured out, you want to think about the colors that you want to use. And so for today, we have kind of like a bright blue. We've got this fun kind of Kelly green color. We've got this coral orange pink, and then the canary yellow over there. So what colors are you going to choose?
I think that I want to go with coral and green.
Coral and green? Okay, awesome. Then I'm gonna go with blue and yellow.
There you go.
Thank you. Oh, Prickly Pete,
Prickly.
tell ya. He's grabbing onto everything. So the first step of this super easy DIY is you are literally going to just measure out the length of your edge with the string of pom-poms. So just take an edge and place it down at the bottom, kind of mark it, and then I'll let you use the scissors first.
Thank you.
The fun thing I love about this DIY is that literally you can apply it if you want to do a different kind of trim like lace. You can also do that. I think that's also very kind of Mexican inspired as well, especially if you get, what is that called? The eyelets.
Papo de gallo?
Yes, that too.
Something like that?
Yeah, it was like something like that. So wonderful. And then we are measuring out our second row of pom-poms. Pom-poms are really trendy right now, especially for summertime, when you see it on a lot of beach wear, resort wear, and all that good stuff. Have you seen pom-poms anywhere at any of the events you've done, or?
No, I haven't seen them, but I am looking forward to bringing them back with you.
Back, yeah.
Yes.
Isha also has a little bit of a 1970s soul in her too. So we did a shoot together a few years ago, well, many years ago now,
Yeah.
I know, at a Frank Lloyd Wright house, and it was just beautifully 1970s retro, but really fresh and modern. So that is what I'm a fan of. So after you've got your pom-poms cut, so we've got our 2 strings. So we've got beautiful blue, yellow, and green and coral. We are now going to take our adhesive pen, so this is a special one for fabric, and you want to make sure that it is a fabric adhesive that you are using, because it's very different than the other ones out there. So you are literally just going to draw a line at the very bottom of your napkin. No need to be a perfect line because you're just going to smush some pom-poms on there.
Okay, you're being very much neater than I am.
No need to be perfect because, again, no one will see it. Just kind of getting it on there.
It's a good thing I have this cardboard.
Oh, that cardboard. So you want to glue down your little pink tassels first because you don't want to show the string, and the pom-poms are going to cover the strings. So we have 5 each, and so basically you are on this napkin. It's really great because it already sections it off for you where you're going to place them, one on the edge, one in the middle, So you can use that guide. If not, just quarter it out to 5 areas.
Now, does it matter how long I keep my string?
Great question. So it depends on how tassel-y you want it. So tassels. As you can see on our sample napkins, they are a little free-flowing, but they're not super long or super short. So
Okay.
total personal preference too. I say if a DIY can't be customized in some way, then it's not a really good DIY. So, oops. There. All right. So once you've got the tassels on there, you literally are just going to add your first pom-pom string, and that pom-pom string is whatever one you want on the bottom. So for me, because earlier I already did a yellow on the bottom, I'm going to do a blue on the bottom for me. And on the pom-poms, you do see like a 2-side type of thing. I like to do it on, it's kind of like where it falls or flatter on it versus where the pom-poms are up top on it rather than on the back.
Ah, good tip.
So yeah. And then as you saw Isha just doing, she put down extra glue, and you will want to do that. So
I just like glue.
yeah. Were you the kid like in school with the paste?
Yep. I was.
Bring on the paste and the little like film canisters. Do you remember that?
I don't.
It was like homemade paste or something, and the teachers always would bring out the canisters, but then there was always that one kid who always wanted to eat it.
I think, because did you make your paste out of flour and water?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what probably because the kids who would eat it.
Maybe I'm dating myself with that.
I'm not too far behind you.
So my string is showing a little bit. Do I need to worry about
a little?
that?
So that's a great question. So Isha's string is showing a little bit on her napkin, and it's going to be hidden with the second one that you put on.
Good point.
Yeah, we've got that going. So what do you like to do at home when you are not putting together beautifulness at weddings?
You know, I am a reader. My whole we all read. And sometimes it's trade magazines, but sometimes it's just fiction, and none of us really like the same subject matter, but we all just like to be on our screen porch with this wonderful weather and just be together.
That's awesome. So the real question is paperback or hardback or ebook?
You know, when it comes to a magazine, I prefer like the actual paper, but for books, I find that paper too dry, so I prefer an ebook.
Ebook.
Do you notice that book paper is dry? I know you're
It is dry. Yeah, I am a little. I do love my ebooks for traveling, but I do love paper. I am an English major, so it kind of had to happen. But yeah, it is, especially like new paper. There's just some books where, I don't know, the paper quality is a little off-putting for me.
Yeah, so that's what it is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So awesome.
Oh, I
love that. Love that. So as you can see, super easy. That literally took like 5 minutes at most or to kind of get this together. You will want to let your glue dry for 24 hours. So, and this just helps it bond and cure to the napkin. So you can use it and swing it around and not have pom-poms flying everywhere. So, but yeah, so we are going to let these dry for a second before we show the audience. And we're gonna go back to some styling tips from Isha and how you can really create a wonderful table scene for a bridal shower, wedding event, anything literally where you want to just kind of make your guests feel more welcome and at home. So you've got these beautiful colors, textures, and everything. What about glassware and plateware and linens?
Okay, so good point. First of all, linens don't have to be a formal tablecloth that you've purchased from somewhere. If you are a crafter, you probably have remnants at home. Cut that with some bric-a-brac scissors or even pom-pom this edge. Make yourself a nice little runner. I like a really full table. I think that gives everybody's eye something to do and any lulls in conversation. So I like to have just a lot of things for people to look at and enjoy and be delighted by at my table. The other thing, glassware. All the glasses, like a glass for everything. It's going to add color. It's going to add. It's going to be super reflective. It's just really going to add a lot to the table and make it feel kind of fancy.
And you kind of like to mix colors too. Is there
I do.
How do you go about like, does this color go with something versus like texture? Because I know Isha also uses a lot of like height differences, and so like high, low. So the glassware, of course, is going to be diverse, but is there something that you can share, like a good tip on, okay, how can I unify these colors, or especially in glassware and plateware?
So I think that green is a neutral. Bring in all different tones of green. When your colors are very bright, earthy things like the browns of this terracotta, it kind of anchors it some. So, calm that down a little bit with some browns and some greens. but I do think that all colors actually do match if you put in a few tones in between them. I feel like
like
for
neutrals.
Yeah, but also I feel like for this particular color, this kind of marries them, even though this red is a little bit different than this red. This, which has some of the tones of everything, just kind of blends it all together. So don't be afraid of color and use things from your home. I just cut these this morning from my own camellia bush because they brought in the yellow that I wanted to bring in, and this is what was available, so use what's seasonal.
Yeah, I love that, especially the seasonal tips. So here in Virginia, as we are filming, it is a crazy, balmy 75 some degrees in winter, quote unquote. And so a lot of things are blooming right now, but finding the seasonal that tends to be a little bit more affordable. You can look to see what is available locally, support local florists. Always highly recommend reaching out to them, because a lot of times you may assume like, oh, I can only contact them for like a bouquet or a centerpiece, but a lot of times you guys have loose blooms available too.
We do, you know, because we always order extra to make sure that we have enough for our party and event work, and so we'd love to sell those to you, give you some tips on how to use them, and
and literally it's all about having fun and just connecting with whatever gets you excited. And so today's inspiration were the pom pom napkins, but then Isha took it to a whole nother level by, you know, like she said, marrying the different neutrals with the bright pops of color, especially for those who might be afraid or nervous about bright colors. You can help neutralize a lot of them with these really earthy browns and neutral whites and all of these like greeneries as well. So I love it. And then just to kind of share a little bit with the glassware. So as you can see, there was it's blue milk glass, and I'm guessing it's like circa 19, you say like 60s? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, 60s. So you can take vintage items and modernize them through the florals or through like a fresh modern white. And literally it's all about having fun. Your thrift shops will have things that you can tie into I mean, sky's really the limit. Also, you want to check out the local rentals companies. So our rentals came from Mad Hatter Vintage here in Virginia Beach, and she just had like this collection of just fun glassware, plateware, tableware, and furnitures that you can mix and match. And it's not just for event professionals. So everyday people can go in and say, hey, I love this. Because I don't have the space to always like keep stuff, even though I'm kind of a styling cabinet hoarder. I do have random things. I think most wedding people do, but and so having the option to rent, I think is you do like for your weddings and clients, because you found like that one chair piece I remember for that one shoot.
We always love to customize for our clients, and you know, then those things become part of our inventory. But I think the most special events are events where you whether it's large or small, is when you incorporate things from your own home, you know, and just buy things that you like, develop your own prop closet, and then kind of the things that you need to go across the whole event, you can just, like you said, rent those from a professional.
Love it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the DIY and how we have gone about making pom-pom napkins for a fiesta celebration. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Isha, for doing the DIY with us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.